Hey, thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today is the 24th of April. Unbelievable. We've been in quarantine since the beginning of March. March zoomed by. I mean, it didn't really zoom by, actually. It's been a very, very slow. Most of my friends agree it's been really, really, really slow because when you spend it inside, you're not working for most people, or if you are, you've got your own like freelance kind of things you're doing. But it's different than when everybody's out and there's a lot of motion and things are happening. I mean, this has been a really wild time. So March went by, now it's almost April's gone by. Here I am. I've been inside. They want the seniors to stay inside, so I've pretty much been inside. I went out a couple of times, but that's it. And I'm first of all, I'm against the protesters protesting any of the doctors or frontline people that are trying to help people. I don't believe that. If you have a problem with, if you want to say your piece, stand out on your block and talk about it, and stay, however you want to be, you stay on your block, but don't interrupt these people that are trying to help people that are sick. I mean, I can't even imagine it. No, it's not. You might be getting press, but it's not good press, and I'm not for it at all. But anyway, that's just my little pitch for the coronavirus and what's going on and the latest. And thank you to our governor, Gavin Newsom. He's just done a fantastic job with our state, California. So anyway, because this is a global pandemic, it's probably the first time all of us are kind of experiencing similar things, and it's just a very interesting time. I feel like it's almost like planet Earth is like has to we have a chance to like I forget what you call it, where you turn off your computer and turn it back on, you restart it. And it's almost like a restart. And this is our chance. So that's what I think. But anyway, there you go. So today I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about, because I've watched a lot of videos and I've heard a lot of people talk about Scientology. But most of the people that get interviewed, a lot of the people that get interviewed were in the Sea Org. So it almost sounds like the Scientology, when you're in it, it's the Sea Org, when it really isn't. So this is the difference. I'm going to speak as a public. I'm going to do some videos as a public, and I'm going to redo some videos that are older videos, because I've made over 800 videos. I was in Scientology for 30 years. I escaped out in 2000, wasn't going to speak out. Scientology kept picking on me, so I started speaking out. And I haven't shut up since. And there you go. So this is basically, what is the difference in the Sea Org and public? Now, for most of my time in Scientology, was a public. I joined the Sea Org for a short time. I was in it for, I think, 6 months. But I ran out of my medicine for epilepsy, and so they kicked me out. They said I had to get off my medicine. I couldn't. My mother saved my life. I've talked about it many, many times. But it's their medical abuse. And so anyway, I ended up not being a Sea Org member, but more sort of like a staff member. I was like, they had non-Sea Org, which was you're not really in the Sea Org, but you're on staff. So I was an auditor, and I was that at Celebrity Center, and then I was that at AOLA, which is their advanced organization. And then, I ended up doing stuff with the Sea organization for many, many years, kind of alongside of them, but not in the Sea Org. So when you join the Sea Org, it's a billion-year contract, number one, which I know immediately people go, huh? But it is. It's a billion-year contract. And when you give up your life to Scientology, now they make it sound like you're really going to be helping planet Earth and mankind and how great it is. But the truth is, it's kind of like a gigantic slave camp. And they work you to death. You work all day, all night. You get paid $35 a week. You think you're doing things that help. In truth, they really aren't. It's just a giant facade of BS. That's really what it is. And if you really, really look, and the fact that they can't look shows you right there how good is it. They can't look. They can't look on the internet. They're not supposed to watch any critical TV shows. They can't read any critical books. So they are in, that's why I call it the Scientology Truman Show, because they're in their own little show, And within that, everything's great, everything's wonderful, we're all doing so fantastic. Oh, it's so good you came in. You are at the right place at the right time. This is it. That's Scientology. That's how it is. So there's the Sea Org. They work them to death. They get 3 meals a day. They get a bed, and they get $35 a week. That's the Sea Org. And they run the churches of Scientology. Now, in the old days, a lot of people were getting auditing, and so they were kind of running the organizations. That's what the Sea Org does. And some of them were auditors themselves, which are like counselors. And so that's a whole Sea Org thing. Then there's public, people like myself. Now, you can't really be in Scientology and not do something. They've always got you, we need you for this, we need you for that. Because remember, when you're in session, they're kind of finding out what are you good at, what are you not good at, what will you do, what won't you do, that kind of thing. And then, so they kind of know by the time they come to say, we really need you to do this, they know you're that type of person that would go, okay. And that's how it works. So the public are always, they're always working them on something, whether it's money. Some people have a lot of money and they figure they're not going to do anything, so let's just get money from them. So they do. They call them up, we need this amount of money today, before Thursday at 2, which is when their weekends. And those guys write the check or bring the money over or whatever. So there's that. Then there's, there's all different levels of things that I'll tell you about in another video of their front groups and things like that they get a lot of the public volunteering on that and helping out. But mostly, they have, as a public, you have your own home. You're like a regular person. You have a house, you have a job. If you get married, you get married, you can have children, whereas in the Sea Org now, you can't. No children are allowed. They have to have abortions. It's awful. But as a public, you can have children. You can have as many children as you want. It's a different thing. They're really totally different worlds, but all within the Scientology Truman Show. So they follow similar policies, but a lot of what you hear is people talking who were in the Sea organization. So they're talking from a Sea Org viewpoint and how that is. Whereas people like me, I can talk from kind of both because I was in both, but mostly my attention is on, whatever it's been on. I'm just trying to tell you the difference so that, because people get it. Because a lot of people will say to me, oh, you can have a child? I thought you had to have abortions. No, that's for the Sea organization only. That's not the public. See, there's Sea Org and public. And the public they have a whole different life. So anyway, there you go. I don't want to talk too long. I just wanted to say hi to you guys. And I love you and thank you for coming by. And if you have any questions, ask them and I will look at it and I'll answer them. All right? There you go. Peace out.